In today's lecture, we are going to start next chapter from Unit 5, Pharmaceutical Formulation or Pharmaceutical Dosage Form, in which suppositories. In previous lecture, we discussed about monophasic liquid dosage form as well as biphasic liquid dosage form. Then tablets, that is solid dosage form, and also capsule. So in the pharmaceutical formulation, firstly we discuss tablet, after that we discuss capsule. They both are under solid dosage form. Then next we discuss liquid oral preparation, in which we seen that solution, syrup, elixir, emulsion, suspension, and dry powder for reconstitution. So after that we are going to start next topic in the pharmaceutical formulation is topical preparations or semi-solid preparations. Firstly solid, then liquid, and after that topical preparations or the semi-solid preparations. So in which we have to learn ointments, creams, paste, topical gels, ligaments, lotions, suppositories, and pasteurizers. So this 8 dosage form we have to study under the semi-solid dosage form or under the topical preparations. So let's start from the suppositories. And all these chapters having same pattern as such the previous chapters, their definition, advantages, disadvantages, formulations, then quality control test for all the preparations. So in the topical preparation, we have to study ointment, creams, paste, topical gels or gels, ligaments, lotions, suppositories, and pasteurizers. So in which firstly suppositories. So suppositories are the solid form intended for the insertion into body orifice, and they melt, soften, or dissolve and exert localized or systemic effect. It is comes under the semi-solid preparation because it is prepared by melting of all the ingredients. Means suppositories are the semi-solid preparation. They are prepared by melting of their ingredient. Means in their formulation, जे ingredient आहेत ते ingredient melt केले जातात, and after that these suppositories are prepared, and these suppositories intended means prepared for insertion. They get inserted into the body orifice, and where they melt, they soften, dissolve, and they shows their systemic effect. Means why they are inserted, and their therapeutic effect or pharmacological actions of these suppositories shown where they are inserted, and they dissolve at the part where they inserted into the body. So definition of suppositories. Suppositories are the under the solid dosage form, but they get melted after their administration or their insertion. So that's why they are semi-solid dosage form. Sound is audible to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so suppositories are the say under the semi-solid dosage form. Suppositories are solid dosage form of the medicament, and they are used for the insertion into the body cavities other than the mouth. Means except the mouth cavity. Other than mouth means mouth cavity सोडून other cavities मध्ये suppositories ह्या insert केल्या जातात. Insertion. The medicament placed into the particular body cavity, that is insertion. Other than mouth. Then they are inserted into the rectum, vagina, or the nasal cavity. The medicaments are incorporated into the suppository base and the product formulated in such a way that they will either melt or dissolve into the body cavity fluid to release the medicament. Means this suppository containing medicament or their formulation table, in which suppository basis it is a main ingredient, and after that remaining active ingredients, that is API, active pharmaceutical ingredients, are also added in it. And after their insertion into the body cavities other than mouth, then where they get melt or they dissolve into the body cavities, and after that they get releases their medicament, and then they shows their particular action with by their mixing with the systemic circulation. means they are inserted into the rectum, vagina or nasal cavity. You know this body part. माहिती आहेत का? Rectum, vagina, nasal cavity.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so other than mouth सोडून जे remaining body cavities आहेत त्याच्यामध्ये suppositories या insert केल्या जातात. Means they are placed in the rectum, vagina and nasal cavity. So definition of suppositories. Suppositories are the solid dosage form. They are intended for the insertion of body cavities where they into the body cavities. You can write other than the mouth cavity. And they melt ज्या ठिकाणी त्या insert केलेल्या आहेत. At that place they get melt or they get dissolved into the body fluid and then they shows their systemic effect. आणि तो त्याचा systemic effect किंवा जो localized effect आहे तो दाखवतात. And why it is comes under the semi-solid preparation? As seen in previous lecture, dry powder for reconstitution. Why it is under the liquid dosage form? Powder तर solid असते, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And it is solid dosage form, but we are studied under the liquid. We see in this chapter under the liquid dosage form. Why? Because after the addition of water, it gets reconstituted. Wait for a minute. Sound is audible to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so like that, or dry powder for reconstitution, same like that. Again, these suppositories are the under semi-solid preparation, but after their preparation, they seems like the solid dosage form. So that's why in the definition of suppository, you have to write the same slide. Suppository or say the same suppositories are the solid dosage form intended for the insertion into the body cavity other than the mouth cavity, whether they melt, soften, dissolve or exert their localized effect or systemic effect. It comes under the semi-solid preparation. Why it comes under the semi-solid preparation? Because they prepared by melting the all ingredient. During the preparation or formulation or compounding of the suppositories, all the ingredients are melting of the ingredient. So that's why it comes under the semi-solid. Melt केल्यावर काय होणार आहे ते? It goes into which phase? Semi-solid. So this is about the definition. The next point, suppositories used for produce local systemic and mechanical action. Suppositories used to produce their local effect, systemic effect, and also mechanical action or the effect. Suppositories are available in different sizes, different shape, and also in the having the different vary in their weight. The next point is to be advantages. These dosage form can be easily administered to the children, old person, unconscious patient who cannot be swallow the drug easily. Means जे person easily drug swallow करत नाहीत. For this person, this dosage form is easy to administer or easy to insert. So this is first advantage. Then second, these are inserted into body cavity to produce any local effect of the medicament which is incorporated in the base. Local effect means where they are located, means where they are inserted or at the location these medicaments are placed at that particular place. Local means at that particular place. General means into the whole body. So local effect means ज्या प्लेस मध्ये ज्या साइटला ते इन्सर्ट केलेले आहेत at that site they shows their local effect. This is also next advantage of the suppository. Then third one, they are inserted into the rectum to exert direct and rapid action on the rectum. So if we want action for the rectum, particular for this part, then other dosage forms are the not suitable. So these suppositories, when they are inserted into rectum, then they shows the rapid and direct action on the rectum. Rectum, it is part of which organ?
Intestine.
Okay, so it is chamber that begins at the end of large intestine. The next point, suppositories are the unit dosage form. Unit dosage form means it is in a compact dosage form. The next point, these are inserted into the rectum to promote the evacuation of the bowel. I think evacuation of the bowel, you already heard in the definition of laxative, carminative, right? Evacuation of the bowel means to promote the remove of fecal matter from the bowel. So this preparation of the suppositories, when they are inserted into rectum, then they promote the evacuation of the bowel. The next point, these are convenient mode of administration of the drug which irritate GI tract, causing vomiting and destroyed in the acidic pH of the gastric juice of the stomach. Means it is convenient mode of the drugs. जे ड्रग जीआयटी ट्रॅक मध्ये गेल्यानंतर प्रोड्युसेस ओमेटिंग आणि नॉशिया नॉशिया ओमेटिंग प्रोड्यूस करतात और ऍसिडिक पीएच बरोबर इंटरॅक्ट होतात. स्टमकचं पीएच कसं ऍसिडिक की अल्कलाइन?
Acidic.
Acidic.
रेंज इज इन बिटवीन, किती रेंज? 1 to 3. And small intestine pH pH of small intestine, can anyone tell? pH range माहित नाही intestine ची. It is alkaline or acidic?
Alkaline.
What is the pH range? 1 to 3. Is it right? Hmm, 1 to 3, it is pH range of intestine. Is it right or wrong? Sound is audible to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
pH range 1 to 3 मध्ये असेल. Then what we can say, it is acidic or alkaline?
Acidic.
Acidic.
So 1 to 3, it is pH range of intestine. Is it right or wrong?
Wrong.
Wrong.
Then what will be the pH range of intestine?
5.5 to 7.
Okay, so it is in between 5 to 7. Then last point. So the drugs, they get irritated into the GIT tract and also destroy with the acidic pH of GIT. Such drugs given in the form of suppositories, and after that they get inserted. So that's why it is convenient for the such drugs. Drugs in the suppository are slowly absorbed, giving sustained action. Means like the sustained release tablet. The tablet ज्यावेळेस ऍडमिनिस्ट्रेट केल्या जातात, क्विक मध्ये ऍक्शन दाखवतात का सस्टेन रिलीज, कंट्रोल रिलीज टॅबलेट?
Nahi.
Because their release or their absorption is to be controlled for the prolonged time. So like that, drugs in the suppositories, they are slowly absorbed and giving their sustained action. Means their action will be after the some time. The next disadvantages, the irritant drugs can't be administered by this route. जे irritant drugs आहेत, ते drugs या route नी देता येत नाहीत. Then suppositories can embarrassment to the patient when a drug is administered. Embarrassment. Do you know meaning of embarrassment?
No, ma'am.
Embarrass means awkwardness or shamefulness. So suppositories causes embarrassment to the patient when drug administered by inserting suppositories into the body cavities. Means it is this medicament placed other than the mouth cavity. So after this insertion, patient feels like shame or embarrassment is to be occur. So this is disadvantage. The next, suppositories are required to store at the low temperature, means particular temperature range is to be maintained. Then hence suppositories are required to store into the refrigerator, and which is costly for the poor patient. मीन्स ज्या पेशंटला सपोजिटरीज प्रिस्क्राईब केलेले आहेत, इफ दिस पेशंट डू नॉट हॅव रेफ्रिजरेटर, then so it is not possible for the poor patient. So that's why it is costly for poor patient. And suppositories cannot be prepared easily. ह्या easily prepare करता येत नाही because they are prepared by melting. Some molds are required. They are prepared by different methods such as cooling methods, melting or hot insertion method, rolling method. So all these processes are costly. That's why their disadvantage would be suppositories cannot be prepared easily. So this is about definition, advantage and disadvantage. Do you understand all these points?
Yes.
Next slide. Both side, all are present.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then next point. Types of suppositories. 65 roll number. Are you present?
Present.
Read the types of suppositories. How many types?
Five types.
Which?
Rectal suppository, vaginal suppository, urethral suppository, nasal suppository, air canal.
Okay, so types of suppositories. Suppositories are classified or they are prepared for insertion into the different body cavities. And as per that, following types are given below. Rectal suppositories, vaginal suppositories, urethral suppositories, nasal suppositories, and ear cones. So suppositories are available in different sizes and shapes. These are the different size and shapes. Is it visible in your screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so these are the different types of suppositories. Then next, let's see one by one. First one, rectal suppositories. So these are the suppositories. They are introduction into or they are inserted into rectum and where they shows their systemic effect. Then these are generally made up of theobroma oil and are available in various sizes to meet the needs of infants, children, and adults. Means these rectal suppositories, they are prepared for insert into the rectum and after that they shows their systemic effect. Then they are generally prepared from the theobroma oil and they are available. Theobroma oil चा use करून या prepare केल्या जातात and also they are available in different size and shape. As such, they meets to means they are used to need of infants, childrens and adults. Rectal suppositories are usually available and their weight is about 1 to 2 gram. Then they are either in cone or torpedo shaped. Rectal suppositories, they are available in which shape? Torpedo or cone shape. This one asked for MCQ. Then next type is vaginal suppositories. These suppositories mean for introduction into the vagina, means such type of the suppositories made to insert into the vaginal cavities. This suppositories is known as vaginal suppositories. Then the suppositories, these suppositories are also known as pasteurizers and larger than the rectal suppositories. Rectal suppositories, काय weight? किती असतं weight?
1 to 2 gram.
1 to 2 gram.
So these vaginal suppositories, they are also known as pasteurizers and they are larger than the rectal suppositories. या rectal suppositories पेक्षा large असतात. This one also asked for objective question. The next point, these vaginal suppositories may be conical, rod shaped or wedge shaped and they are usually available in weight about 4 to 8 gram. What is weight of vaginal suppositories?
4 to 8 gram.
4 to 8 gram.
The next point, vaginal suppositories are mainly used for the local action on the vagina. Means where they are incorporated. Then they shows at their local part action. ज्या part मध्ये ते insert केलेले आहेत at the particular part वरती ते action दाखवणार आहेत. They do not show their action on the whole body. So they shows their local action on the vagina because they are inserted into the vaginal cavity. Nowadays, vaginal tablets and the vaginal capsules are also available. So vaginal suppositories are available previously or from earlier, and nowadays other dosage forms are available such as vaginal tablets and vaginal capsules. The next point, nasal suppositories. Nasal suppositories means they are inserted in which cavity?
Nasal cavity.
इन्सर्ट करायचे आहेत म्हणजे काय करायचंय समजते का?
Yes.
Means you have to place this medicament into this particular cavity. So these are the mean to introduction into the nasal cavity. Pasteurizes कोणत्या suppository ना म्हणतात? Another term for which suppositories?
Vaginal suppositories.
Okay, and nasal bougies, it is for the nasal suppositories. Then they are similar to urethral suppositories. So nasal suppositories are similar to urethral suppositories. They are having the thin cylindrical in shape and are always prepared by the glycerogelatin base. So for the preparation of this nasal suppositories, which base is used?
Glycerogelatin base.
And nasal suppositories are about 9 to 10 centimeter long, and their weight, how much weight?
1 gram.
So this is about nasal suppositories. They are available in different sizes and shapes such as cylindrical, thin, and they are prepared by glycerogelatin base, and these suppositories having the length of 9 to 10 centimeter. Their weight is about 1 gram, and they are also known as nasal bougies, and they are inserted into the nasal cavity, and they are similar to urethral suppositories. Then next point or next type, urethral suppositories means they are introduced or inserted into the urethra, and also they are known as urethral bougies. These are thin, long, cylindrical forms and rounded at the one end to facilitate insertion. Means ह्या cylindrical, long and thin असतात आणि त्या एका एंडला round असतात. For easy to insertion, they facilitate for the insertion. That's why they are at the end. One end they are rounded. Then their weight. Their weight will be varies 2 to 4 gram. And these suppositories are rarely used. Rarely used means mostly used or commonly used or in less amount it is used.
Less amount. Less amount is used.
Rarely means कमी प्रमाणामध्ये त्या use केल्या जातात. So this is about urethral suppositories. Also question is asked on this point, which of the following suppositories are rarely used? The nasal, urethral, rectal, vaginal, which?
Urethral.
Then next one is ear cones. So this means for their introduction or insertion into the ear, and they are also known as urinaria. Urinaria. So other name for ear cone suppositories is urinaria. Nowadays they are also rarely used. Then these suppositories are thin, long, and also in the cylindrical in shape and weigh about 1 gram. So these suppositories are thin, long, cylindrical in shape, and their weight is about 1 gram. Ear cones are usually prepared with the which oil?
Theobroma.
So this suppository is prepared by using theobroma oil. So this is about ear cones. So types of suppositories in which first one rectal suppositories, vaginal suppositories, urethral suppositories, ear cones. These are the different types. Then nowadays, new trends or newer concept of the suppositories. So they are follows in which first one tablet suppositories, layered suppositories, coated suppositories, and capsule suppositories. So this type of the suppositories in recent year, new concept of the suppositories have been introduced to regard the formulation and the packaging. So they are described as follows, in which first one tablet suppositories, layered suppositories, coated and capsule. In which tablet suppositories. Tablet suppositories means tablets जशा prepare केल्या जातात, like that these suppositories are also prepared, but their medicaments are different. Suppositories prepare करताना they in their formulation suppositories bases are also used. Main काय आहे त्याच्यामध्ये suppository base, then active ingredient. Suppository base मध्ये fatty base असेल or emulsifying base असेल or water soluble or water miscible बेस असतील तर ते बेस यूज केले जातात. बीज वॅक्स माहितीये?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, so they are also used as a fatty base during the preparation of suppository base. Also oily bases such as coca butter, theobroma oil. So हे बेस यूज केले जातात. That's why आपण urethral suppositories किंवा other जे suppositories आहेत ear cones त्याच्यामध्ये काय म्हणतो? Usually they are prepared by using the theobroma oil. So these are the best oily bases or oleaginous bases in which hydrogenated oil used, emulsified coca butter is used. Butter माहितीये का?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
मेल्ट होतं का ते?
Yes, ma'am.
So in as per their definition, these are the preparation semi-solid because they get melted. Coca butter. So these are the जसं formulation आपण टॅबलेटचं बघितलेलं, in which active ingredient and binding agent, thickening agent, lubricant, glidant, colorant, sweetening agent ते जसं ऍड करतो like that suppositories मध्ये ते एजंट ऍड केले जातात का?
No, ma'am.
Because in the suppositories only 2 to 3 ingredients are used, in which either emulsifying base or coca butter, theobroma oil, oily bases are also water soluble fatty bases and main drug जो आहे तो यूज केला जातो. There is no addition of any ingredient. So that's why in their classification of suppository bases, कोणते bases आहेत? They are classified into
3 category.
first one,
Fatty bases.
next,
Water.
okay, so in their classification of suppository bases, fatty acids in which theobroma oil is used because it melt at body temperature. Theobroma oil use करून जर ear cones prepare केले and they are inserted into the ear आणि जर ते तिथे dissolve झाले नाहीत तर त्याची ऍक्शन भेटेल का?
No.
No, ma'am.
सो जे आपण बेस यूज करणार आहे सपोजिटरीज प्रिपेअर करताना तो बेस कसा असायला पाहिजे? इट शुड बी मेल्ट ऍट द टेम्परेचर 30 to 35 degree Celsius or melt at the body temperature. So theobroma oil is to be used. The next one,
Water soluble.
emulsified theobroma oil is also used under the fatty bases. Hydrogenated oil also used. Hydrogenated oil, they absorb all the water absorbing capacity असते hydrogenated oil मध्ये. That's why it is used as a fatty base. Also hydrogenated oil means they are obtained from the vegetable such as arachiaceous oil, coconut seed oils, coconut oil. So they are obtained from the vegetable. Emulsified theobroma oil also used as a fatty base. The next one, water soluble or water miscible base in which to avoid the incompatible reaction, जी incompatibility ची reaction होणार आहे ती reaction avoid करण्यासाठी water soluble or water miscible base add केले जातात, such as glycerogelatin base is to be used. So glycerogelatin, it is a mixture of glycerin and gelatin with the water. So this glycerogelatic base, it is used as a water soluble base. Then next, propyl ethylene glycol. It is also used as a water soluble base in suppositories. They are chemically stable, non-irritant, then physiologically inert substances, and they do not allow for any bacterial growth. That's why it is used as a water miscible base in the preparation of suppositories. Then last one is emulsifying bases. So emulsifying bases, in which their examples are massa sterinium, masupol, and vitespol. So these are used as an emulsifying agent in preparation of suppositories. Vitespol, WITEPSOL. It is triglyceride which is obtained from the vegetable, and it is used as a emulsifying agent during the preparation of suppositories. Okay, so suppositories base जे यूज केले जातात सपोजिटरी प्रिपेअर करताना त्याच्या प्रॉपर्टीज काय असायला पाहिजेत दे आर गिवन एज फॉलो सो आयडियल सपोजिटरी बेस आयदर इट इज बीजवॅक्स कोका बटर जे मेल्ट करण्यासाठी आपण ऍज अ बेस म्हणून घेतोय तो बेस कसा असायला पाहिजे सो देअर प्रॉपर्टीज आर गिवन एज फॉलोज रोल नंबर 14 आर यू प्रेझेंट Sound is audible to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Roll number 14, Sushmita Kamble. Are you present?
Yes, ma'am.
Read the ideal properties of suppository base.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
मॅम मला खूप वेळ झाला स्क्रीन दिसत नाही.
Remaining students, screen is visible to all.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Now screen is visible.
नाही मॅम दिसत नाही स्क्रीन.
Roll number 2. Are you present? Roll number 2. Are you present or absent? 3.
Yes, ma'am.
Roll number 2. Read the ideal properties of suppository base. Divya Borade.
Yes, ma'am. So the first is it should melt and at body temperature or dissolve or dispose in body fluid. Second, it should keep its shape when begin handled. Third, it should release the medicament readily. Fourth, it should be non-toxic and non-irritation to the mucous membrane.
Sound is audible to all.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
जो सपोजिटरी प्रिपेअर करताना यूज केला जातो तो हाउ इट इज मीन्स देअर आयडियल प्रॉपर्टीज तो कसा असायला पाहिजे देन these following properties are given like that suppository base should be for preparation of suppositories. So in which first one is it should be melt at the body temperature. Body temperature la te melt व्हावा. Like that you have to choose the suppository base or disperse or dissolve into the body fluids. The next point, it should be keep its shape when being handled. ज्यावेळेस ते इन्सर्ट केलं जाते बॉडी कॅव्हिटीज मध्ये ऍट दॅट टाइम ड्युरिंग द हँडलिंग त्याचा जो शेप आहे तो ऍज सच असायला पाहिजे Then next, it should be release their medicament readily. त्याचे medicament after the insertion release व्हायला पाहिजेत. Like that, you have to choose suppository base. Then it should be non-toxic, means do not produce any toxic effect. It should be non-irritant, that is, it do not produces any irritation to the mucous membrane. Mucous membrane means it is lining of the body cavities. So त्या body cavities साठी तो non-toxic आणि non-irritant असायला पाहिजे. Then next, it should be stable on the storage. During storage, it should be stable. It should be compatible with the large number of drug. When we mix large number of drug with this base, then it should be compatible with the drug. It should be stable if heated above its melting point. त्याच्या melting point च्या above जर heat केलं तरी ते stable असायला पाहिजे. What is mean by melting point? Melting point, boiling point. What is mean by melting point? काय होतं melting point ला? Practical केलेत का chemistry मध्ये?
Yes, ma'am.
What is mean by melting point?
Melting point. Melting point is the temperature where substances changes state from solid to liquid.
Okay, so त्याचा melting point च्या above जरी ते melt केलं तरी ते stable असायला पाहिजे. Melting point of substance, it means that temperature at which it changes the state from solid to liquid. Then it should be easily molded म्हणजे जो काही त्याचा mold आहे त्याच्यामध्ये easily ते fit व्हायला पाहिजे. It should not adhere to mold. ते mold ला stick व्हायला नाही पाहिजे. Then it should be good in appearance. Appearance good असायला पाहिजे. And it should be moldable by puring or cold compression. Means त्याच्या method ज्या आहेत either by molding or rolling or cold compression method. तर ते त्याच्यामध्ये easily त्याचा shape accept करावा असं suppository base असायला पाहिजे. So this is about ideal properties. So in today's lecture, we discuss about definition of suppositories, then advantages, disadvantages, types of suppositories, then which base are used for suppositories, means oligogenous base, then their ideal properties, fatty base, emulsifying base, water soluble or water miscible base. Then remaining point in this chapter is preparation of suppositories, how they are prepared, melting molding method, their storage, their quality control test. Remaining point we will discuss in our next lecture. And also newer suppositories formulation, new trends, tablet layered capsules, suppositories. It will study on our next lecture. Up to this, any doubt?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Both side.